Well, good evening. I have one of those really strange phone calls today that happens, and you take the call and you take the information that's given to you and you chat away, and then you walk away from the phone, and really what's just been told to you really hits home. And it was a phone call about a young person, someone who I didn't know really well, but someone who I knew as part of the work I do at a church youth club, and they were someone who had been coming along for several years, just stuff we've been doing, knowing them, knowing other members of their family. And the phone call was the phone call that says, you know, so and so, well, they died. And when someone's not even left school, that's always a really hard thing to take, because you're just going, no, that's so wrong. And in this instance, I don't want to go into heaps of detail. It was kind of not great. You know, I got given the details of what happened, but it was, you know, it wasn't a car accident, it wasn't an illness, it was an incident that happened at a party, relating to a fight, and someone's been arrested as a result of it, and you just kind of think, what a waste. What? Yeah, I can, you know, I don't know everyone who's involved in the situation, but in my mind I can just see how avoidable the situation could have been. And there's somebody who, that's it, 15, 16 years old, that's their life over, and it could have been avoided. And I don't know all, you know, I don't want to kind of put blame on was it his fault, was it the other person's fault. I don't know enough of the situation to know that, but all I know is that, you know, why does someone wind up in that situation, and you know, obviously the effect on the family, the effect on everybody who knows them, and it's just, I don't know, it's really, I suppose when you're involved in youth work and you're involved in trying to help people have the best start in life possible and trying to help encourage people, you know, things like this just, they really hit home. You know, and a lot of the work I do is, you know, focused around young people aged between 14 and 18, and so that, you know, right slap in the middle of that period where you know, for years you spend a lot of time working with a lot of different young people to really help them and try and, you know, encourage them in what they're doing with their life, where they go, and what their plans are, what their ambitions are, and what they're studying at school or college, where they go to university, you know, whatever it is, in different ways, and right in the middle of that, right, you know, you see that kind of thing happen to someone, and you just go, it's just, I don't know, is it, you know, it's not the first time I've experienced something like this. In one way, I guess it won't be the last time either, but it doesn't get any easier any time. And just, you know, I suppose for me, you just never, the whole reality that you can be here one minute and gone the next is such a huge thing, and things like this really bring it home, and you think you really can be here one minute having fun, doing what you enjoy doing, the next minute it can be all over, and it really brings home the reality of what are you doing with your life. I don't know, to me there's a part of me that's like, almost gets angry with the whole, what a waste of a life, in that sense, that not that his life was a waste to that point, but what a waste that it should end at that point when he had so much more promise and future, so much more that should have been ahead of him, that's been snatched away. And yeah, it drives you back to the big questions, you know. And my wife was actually talking to another guy who she knows, who ended up smacking his car under a lorry, and and somehow pretty much miraculously surviving. And she said to him, "Did you pray in that situation?" He was like, "No, it was the last thing that was on my mind. I was just thinking, I can't believe I'm alive." And this guy almost had his ear ripped off and the whole side of his face gashed up in that accident. But for me, I don't know, it brings home, you got to ask those big questions. You know, is there a God out there? If he is, where do I stand with all that? Because some of us want to leave those questions till later, to sort of say, "Oh well, when I'm older I can think about that." But maybe we won't get to be older, much as we'd like to be. Maybe something's going to happen, and it's not that we should live in fear about that, but I don't know, I'm rambling, but I don't know, I was just kind of like, do I make a video about this, do I not make a video about this? I was just, it's one of those things where it gets you and you think, yeah, you know, I want to talk about this as much as anything. For anyone of you who's out there who's putting yourself in danger doing stuff, and just make sure you're asking yourself the big questions. Make sure you know where your life's going. For me, as a Christian, I'd say pray. If you're not sure there's a God, ask him if he's there. Ask him if he'll show himself to you, because you don't know. Thanks for watching.